All right. Welcome, everybody. I know we're starting probably a minute early, but that is the way we roll. Just let me know, can everybody hear me? We've got to test the sound. That's just what we do. Alan, how are you? Marky Mark's on. Peter Knight. Do you hear words coming out of my mouth? You do. Christopher Hackett, I got a yes. We hear you being James Bond. Being James Bond, the entire community gives you a collective hug. They really do. Good for you, man. All right. First of all, welcome everybody. We're going to have more people join as the time ticks down. So we're going to bide a little time. I'd love to always start and find out where is everybody from? Where are they calling in? I'm coming from Pennsylvania. Hello there. Hi. Welcome. Pennsylvania. This is my home office. You've probably seen it from time to time. This is my very evil but very comfortable chair. It's brown, it's not black, it's not completely authentic. Portland, Oregon, we've got Scotland, we've got Norway, we've got Canada, Atlanta, we've got Mexico, Manchester, another Norway, Zealand, London. Okay, so nobody from the United States because everybody's still working and they're like, David, why do you set a live stream at 5 p.m. when I'm still at work? Well, that's fine because you can watch this later. It'll be up. We wanted to have a cocktail hour. So here we go. And I don't know if everybody said what they were drinking. I have, this is actual size, folks. This is actually, see, it's as big as my head. No, it's not quite that big, but it's just vodka because, it's been, I don't know if you heard, it's been a little bit of a week. It's been a little bit of a week, and that's what this live stream is to really talk about two things. First of all, a couple of announcements and discussions, and then also Erie, Pennsylvania, finally somebody. Oh, it's Brian Sheridan. Hey, man. It's to really talk about some announcements, but also to talk about the next 8 months. I mean, we can spend a lot of time talking about the last 48 hours, and we'll probably talk a little bit about it today. But let's talk about 8 months because, damn, 8 months, okay? I mean, it's not 8 weeks, right? It's not 8 days, it's 8 months. So this is going to be a quick run through of what I'm affectionately calling the James Bond survival guide, okay? And we're gonna get to that in a second, but first, an announcement. I did something kind of interesting, I think. I hope you find it interesting. James Bond Netherlands. Hello. I went on a lot of the threads and videos, and I used a tool called Upfluence. And Upfluence is this great tool that you can kind of hear different things. I'm part of the marketing world, and allows you to kind of listen. And a couple of words have really come to bear when people heard the news within the first 24 hours. So one of the most popular ones, gutted. Boy, I hope that's not backwards. Is that backwards? Is everything backwards? Let's see. Hold on. No, it's right. Gutted. I mean, so many people of you said you were gutted, that it was literally like a gut punch. The other word that was extremely prevalent was devastated. How many people out there were devastated when they heard the news? Then you got a lot of this. This is swimming around the word cloud. This was mine. Yeah. Well, I did gutted too. Sad. Very, very sad. And yes, it's a sadness that, I'm quite frankly still revisiting. I went out last night with friends. It was great, but there were moments where all of a sudden I would think about what just happened. Was it reality? Was it surreal? See, Williams can't believe it either, that it's real. And then suddenly that nauseousness in your stomach, this little acid reflux just comes up and you're like, we got to wait 8 more months. And that's why this word really came up quite a bit, angry. A lot of people were very angry, and they were looking for focus of their anger. That's what people do with anger. They look at focus. Can I find a person to blame? Can I find a society, a group, a company, a corporation? Can I find a virus? What can I use to blame? And it's my whole point of my video yesterday was how much time are you going to spend with that, right? Because a lot of you are concerned, what's going to go on now? Are we not going to get trailers? Are we not going to have any kind of momentum around the movie? Is it all spent because it was only 3 weeks? And that's why this word continues even after 48 hours. and that is bummed. We're just bummed, which is what I've been telling people. I had phone calls and texts from people I haven't heard from in 10 years, family members that were like, did you hear? And I'm like, guys, we've all heard. Even today, I was getting people sending me texts and stories, and because we're bummed, and they know we're bummed, and they're trying to console everybody. So this started a conversation, and I wanted to talk to everybody about this. And I'm gonna read questions and all those different things soon, I promise. But I got to get this out. I got to get it out. So I was talking to a good friend of mine, Peter Brooker, from Tailors with Love, Peter Brooker, who's been my partner in crime extraordinaire in creating something called Operation Barracuda. Operation Barracuda is a party. I mean, it's the only way to call it. It's a fan event, open, totally open, not private, not invite. Here it is, and anybody who wants to come can come. And we put this on Facebook, and boy, did we get a lot of interest. There were people changing flights and times to get there, etc. March 28th from 2 till 6 in London at the Barracuda Club. And the Barracuda Club was great. They were like, come on in. It's a casino. We'll give you the VIP room. I mean, the excitement was growing. And then this happened. And it really, Peter and I started to reflect, and we said, look, we could do a lot of different things. We could have people, obviously, like me, just refund my travel tickets and take the brunt of it and, cancel hotels. Or do we do something different? Because we're the Bond community. And, kind of like Bond, we keep coming back for more. It's like the old Rocky thing. It's not how hard you can punch. It's how hard you can get punched and keep coming back for more. That's the Bond community. Think about the punches we've rolled with. So, I want to announce right now that Operation Barracuda is on. Operation Barracuda is happening. Now, if you don't know what this is, there's a whole video on this that I'll put in the links. But if you go on the Bond Experience Facebook, you'll see an event from March 28th from 2 to 6 p.m. And guys, I'm going. I am flying to London. I'm heading there. I'm going to be arriving that morning. I want to party with everybody. We'll get into trouble before and after, and I'll be there for a couple days. And the reason I'm coming and several of my cohorts are coming is because this was our vacation. This was our celebration. This was our moment. And the number one thing, despite all of these words, was we wanted to hang out with each other. It was the camaraderie. It was the relationships. And guess what? We'll have that in November again, but why wouldn't we have it now? So for those of you that are in the area, that are in the London area or still coming, there's a party to be had, and we can hang out and we can just celebrate the moments that we're gonna have before and after. And we're gonna leave a lot of this behind. Now we can grouse and we can yell at the clouds and things like that. Whatever goes. I'll put the details to the event here. I don't need to go over the whole event. It's going to be fun. Dress to impress. There's so many people that are going to this. I think at recent count, it was like 138 people or something like that. I mean, it was great. And from all over the world. Again, from Norway, from a lot of these people. But I see that someone has a birthday party, so you won't be able to go. But don't worry, I'm sure there's going to be just a few pictures. Maybe a video or two, I don't know. There's gonna be prizes, there's gonna be trivia. We got a couple surprises when we have a couple people show up that are highly interesting, But my whole point tonight with this live stream is the fun in the Bond community is us. Like even the party, it's not Operation Barracuda. It's not fancy streamers or anything like that. You're the secret ingredient. We're the secret ingredient. So bring it. And again, I want to thank Peter Brooker. I can't thank him enough. He's been doing the organization. When you take this stuff on, it is so much work to do. So, these events, they look really easy and really fun, and they're really hard to plan and organize. Trust me when I say this. As hard as you think it is, it's harder. So Peter is doing an amazing job with me. We'll be your co-host for the evening. And if you can join us, great. And maybe we'll do some other things in London. There's Bond in Motion, there's Bond tours. We will make our own party if you can join us. So there we go. A little bit of announcement with that. All right. So I promised you something else because we got to think about what we're doing. John Simmons, someone has to put up the fancy streamers. John, you're right. I apologize. I can't believe I didn't say that there were actually going to be fancy streamers. Bright side alert from Slingerland. I have 7 more months to reach my goal. Yeah, well, okay, that's part of the discussion tonight. So hold on. How did I not even take a drink yet? So let's all toast that we're going to pick ourselves up. All right. The Bond Survival Guide. What's a party without streamers? Lee Hurst, you are absolutely right. And that's a lot of martini glasses. That's all I'm saying. First of all, a couple people had some great ideas. My friend Daniel Stent said that he is actually going to watch the movies in order. I know some of you have already done that. He's going to kind of critique them. You have time now to watch those movies. So that's kind of fun and kind of basic, but I love it because it harkens back to the franchise and what we do. The other thing that I've heard from people is they've got 8 months. They're going to actually learn some skill sets, horseback riding, things that Bond would actually do, things that like Joe Darlington with being James Bond has written about, and even learning an aspect like wine tasting or cocktail making. All these different things are on the table. So imagine between now and then, if you came to the table with 3, that's a German 3, by the way, Inglourious Bastards, 3 more skill sets that you didn't have by the time the new movie comes out. And Chris Robinson reminded everybody that we want to see Being James Bond Volume 2. Joe Darlington, I hope your seat is hot right now. Another aspect is what somebody has said is the Bond 25 Fitness Challenge. A lot of you thought you were going to get away with it, and the movie was going to come out and go, well, okay, Bond 26. No, it's here. It's back. So do what you can. I know I've preached this, so I'm not going to preach it on like a cocktail, call today. But do one thing a day differently and better for you, even if it's researching how to eat better. Again, a taco salad is not healthy just because it has the word salad. I know I constantly say that, but there we go. Bond brain, keep exercising. Yes! Exercising is great, and eat slightly differently and take the stairs instead of the elevator. Baby Lou, Tim, would that end up being a T Bond book? Wow, where did that come from? Fascinating, we'll get back to that. Bond brain does 30 minutes a day. I salute you, sir. The other thing is, do things that are calming. And I know this is going to sound very granola and kumbaya, but especially right now when we're like kind of fighting with the bile that wants to rise when we think about what just happened the other day, try to find some ways to kind of calm yourself, meditate, and listen to music. I was listening to a little bit of music today. I don't know if you know this, but Q, the music show, just released kind of their own artistic rendition of No Time to Die. I haven't even heard it yet. I'm going to treat myself tomorrow morning's coffee. I'm going to listen to it. I want it to be like really quiet, nothing going on right now. Cue the Music Show just released their No Time to Die. Listen to music. Let it wash over to you. Being James Bond says that Alan Hilburn rocks. Yes, he does. Alan Hilburn shares everything. He shares the news with everything. I was kind of sad that all this pre-Bond was over, but now we have 8 months. Commander Bond DK, which by the way, he does a lot of my new thumbnails and just has an incredible sense of humor. And that leads me to another thing. I love podcasts. I don't listen to radio anymore because the podcasts that are on are phenomenal. Try these podcasts on for size. You want to kill some time in the next 8 months, but you still want that Bond moment, but you're not going to rely on a trailer coming out in a couple months. All right, first of all, we got some of them on today. Try the Bond Brain. So the Bond Brain, Bud West, he's very cerebral. He actually does quite a bit of research on, what does the brain and the effect of the brain have, and how does that correlate to certain activities that Bond does. Intrepid 007, really great Canadian-based gentleman who just started a YouTube video, by the way, who really focuses on a lot of the historical nature. So You know, I love how he takes the Fleming aspect and wraps it around real history. So go check him out. Another Bond podcast, and some of these are new. Some of these you haven't heard before, but another Bond podcast is a couple that I got to meet in Toronto. They're great. Corey and Danielle, they're amazing. Funny as shit. Oh, sorry for those in Scotland. Funny as shite. Super funny. They've got a great dynamic. Their chemistry is amazing. And you've got to listen to them, and they're going movie by movie, and then they have like little things in between. James Bond Complex, Mathieu, oh my gosh, and Edgar, two great guys. You got to listen to them, and they're hitting their stride, and they've got an opinion. I really like them, and they do impressions, and they sing, and not well. I'm just telling you, keep that mute button handy. Mi6 and Friends, we've got that podcast. What's cool about Mi6 and Friends is they've got their stalwarts, their usual foundation of individuals, and then they have guest stars that come on that are subject matter expertise that talk about things. A lot of clout behind them to do it. Being James Bond is on that as well, so go check them out. Really interesting topics too. From Tailors with Love, we've got Peter Brooker, who does a lot of the sartorial aspects, a lot of brands. Being James Bond, who the hell runs Being James Bond? Shit. I'm sorry, guys. It's the liquor. It's the liquor. Anyway, that's a good one too. And he's an emotional guy, but he's got a lot of good opinions too. And I happen to like him as a friend. What's the Score? If you like music, go check out What's the Score. Because What's the Score really focuses on not just James Bond, but musical scores and how they correlate to the individuals that love them. It's a good one. You may recognize a few people on that too. You've got the 00 Files, a group of guys that great sense of humor, good chemistry, and really bring in some interesting nuances. And you got to love the fact that they've got an excerpt called Man Talk. I mean, come on, just check, got it. You've got On Her Majesty's Secret Podcast. That's a really good one too. Very funny, good dynamics, and James Bond Radio. Of course, James Bond Radio. And is Chris back? Is this, I mean, I saw him guest star on one, but is he back? I hope so. Tim Hands, they could have hired David Arnold to do the score. Oh, that was an interesting thing that Tim just said. Now that they have time, it's Hans Zimmer. Can't go backwards. You've got YouTube, and you got some of the usual suspects, but I'm going to rifle through these. Calvin Dyson reviews. You've got Calvin Dyson. Oh my gosh. He's been there since he's been like 8 years old. I think he was born on YouTube, but now he's a full-fledged man doing everybody's work. It's amazing. DutchBondFan. Really funny, super authentic and honest, and you gotta love his accent. I know you don't have an accent, but you have an accent to me, and I actually like that. You've got Being James Bond, again, run by, it's right on the tip of my mouth too. You've got a new young man on the horizon, and I like this. I like this guy, and I'll tell you why. Because he's got moxie, and he has no fear, and he reaches out to people in the Bond community. He's like, you don't know me from Adam, but I want you on my show. I want to get to know you. And his name is That One Bond Guy. That One Bond Guy. Go check it out. Young guy from California, brings a lot to the table. He wants to be a pilot. He's really into vintage cars. But what I love about him is it reminds me that we all start somewhere. And so watching his journey is pretty fascinating. Go check him out. And then you've got from Tailors with Love, you've got James Bond Radio, the Bond Bulletin. Go check out the Bond Bulletin. The Bond Bulletin, oh my gosh, the editing on this that Benjamin does is amazing. His stuff is so quality. If you want quality, go to there. You've got Haphazard Stuff. One of the funniest YouTubes I've ever seen. When a haphazard video comes out, I've got to stop everything and watch it. Go check that out. You've got James Bond Canada, right? You've got James Bond Canada, the boys over there, locations, funny moments, talking about product reviews. You've got the Urban Gentry, Tristanos, who, good guy who absolutely connects with watches, etc. And you've got the Intrepid 007, I think I mentioned that with YouTube, and the Bond Armory. You've got Ray Comfeld, who just is like Q. I mean, he really talks about guns galore, and he talks about weaponry and all these wonderful things. It's pretty amazing. Gareth Owen, how you doing? Can't wait to see you, Gareth. Definitely be seeing you soon at the Bond Stars event. As a matter of fact, Gareth just came out with his new book, which hopefully I'll be able to talk to him about that. All right. Speaking of that, let's talk about Facebook. You've got some incredible Facebook people doing incredible Facebook content that can fill the time. You've got Mark O'Connell from Catching Bullets, who, I mean, just funny, but interesting, and his prose is pretty amazing. You also have James Bond Television, who, I don't know where he finds it. He finds these really old videos, these Bond videos. I don't know where he ferrets them from, but he just puts them up. Check them out. You've got the JBR community. You've got On the Tracks, Martijn Mulder. I love all his pronunciations. But that's a really great community. There are communities on Facebook that are just really positive, good communities. I'm a fan of Being James Bond. I can binge watch his content until the release. James Bond 007. Well, there, the man just spoke. But the communities like, the French fan club, the German fan club, the Sweden fan club, you've got On the Tracks, they all really bring things together. And Facebook, everybody says Facebook is antiquated, right? It's for the older crowd. It's going downhill. That may be true, but there's really a wealth of information when it comes to James Bond, subject matter expertise like Suits of James Bond, Matt Spazer. If you're going to buy a suit, you go to Matt first. So this may be far-fetched, but what if there's a problem with the film? It's not turning out what they hoped for. I know that's a theory, so I'm just picking questions out of the blue as I go through this handbook. But here's the reality. I don't know. Did they look at the film and go, ooh, that could be stronger, that could be weaker? I think that would be pretty extreme. I think it's even if they thought that there was tweaking that needed to go on, this would be a huge risk to move this and really hope that everything's going to go to plan in November. Plus, all the PR work, all the marketing. I mean, think about how much they spent. Now they've got to take a look at how do they then get that inertia up. And by the way, someone said just maybe this morning, how are they going to fill the marketing of those 8 months? They don't have to. Okay, I know we're talking about filling content, and that's great, and we should, because that's what we did before, but they really need to get the ball rolling 2 months, 2.5 months before November 12th. All right, so that's when I think you're going to see the marketing engine come up, but there'll be some other things going on. All right, I'm going to go through Instagram really quick. By the way, I'm going to put this sheet up on my Facebook and other places so you can download it. Instagrams that I like to go to. What I like about Instagram, I hope most of you are on it, it's very visual, but it's very daily, it's very moment. So videos come once a week if you're lucky. Books come once a year if you're lucky. Facebook every now and then. Instagram is quick. It's quick hits. Dressing Like Bond, James Bond Netherlands. Dort, who's just really, really great at putting all the parts and pieces together. Matched Perfectly, James Bond Classified, Sartorial Bond, Commander Bond DK, My Budget Bond, Phil Nobile Jr., James Bond Brazil, Giacomo Farsi, who does a lot of the workouts for celebrities. Easy Smiles and Expensive Watches. Yes. Which just rolls off the tongue. No, I actually like it. That's Kyle's new Instagram, talks about fashion and living kind of the Bond lifestyle. And Thunderballs 007. I really like his a lot. He's got some really unique, unusual pictures, old and new. So it's really amazing. So, hey, Kyle, there you are, Kyle B, 007. But you also have events. And I just talked to you about Barracuda, but something occurred to me this morning. I don't know. Something occurred to me that you may not have thought about. All right, so the movie's coming out in November. Guess what, folks? We're having another Global James Bond Day, October 4th in 2020. What's that going to be like? Now, I would imagine that it's the perfect opportunity for MGM and Universal and everybody in Eon to take advantage of that day to really just blow it out. And Lee Hurst, Barracuda is on. It's on. It's on like Donkey Kong. But that day, it'll be interesting because we should be back into the marketing engine. So is it going to be different than this one where we were like a little, it was okay. We had a couple things and not a lot, right? We kind of got a little piecemeal here and there. I don't think anybody was blown away with this year's Global James Bond Day. We might this time. Or should we do our own thing as usual? We should. All right, so I'm going to talk about brands. Now, I know some of you don't like to hear about brands. I'm going to go through quick, and you can mute it, or you can go over to Joe Darlington's video that he just did that really is about the morning after, and then come back in like 3 minutes, okay? So you have choices. You could go to Joe Darlington's video where he talks about the morning after, or you could just mute me, or you can listen to this real quick. All right, so brands, although a lot of the events are like going, there was from Heineken to their distributors, something that went out that basically said, that's it. Don't put out the standees, don't put out this, keep the stuff off the floor. The sweepstakes is still continuing, but Heineken is, once the stuff is off the floor, it's off the floor. And that means that other brands are following suit, meaning they're not going to have the big splashes. However, you do have brands coming out with things. They have launched products. They're going to continue to launch products. You have Crockett & Jones doing things. You have N. Peel still doing things, and they're going to be doing future things. You have Connolly, Massimo Alba, who are doing things, and they might even be guests at our Barracuda. You have Oliver Brown, which I'm sure you've seen, have a launch coming up. You have Globetrotter. You have 007.com, which has all new No Time to Die merchandise and things still coming out. You've got Sunspell that's coming out with, especially for No Time to Die, just in time, a very unique release as well, coming very soon. You've got Barton Pereira, you've got Varney, you've got Swatch. I mean, today the Q Watch debuted. You've got Omega, you've got that watch. Don't got it yet, still want it. I'm not in a rush, just saying. You've got Drake's and you've got Bollinger. So you've got all these people that had plans and things and ideas. And the question is will they do things organically, or maybe they can't do it? Maybe they are going to go a little bit quiet, like the Heineken aspect, and then release things again. But the products are out there. So it makes for a very interesting thing. Royal Dalton, No Time to Die Bulldog for the win. Yeah, I saw that. It's Jack is back in town. See, that when I start singing, that means I need to take a sip. What's the word on Sunspell? All right, sneak peek. Next, I'm hoping next Tuesday, I will have a video up about something that Sunspell is releasing. Two things, actually, that are sitting right there in front of me that I have to review and film this weekend. They are something that you can wear, because it's Sunspell, right? And it's something that's part of their heritage, but something that's also wonderfully new. And it just connects to something very, very Bond. But no, I can't, I'm not allowed yet. So it'll happen Tuesday, I promise. And one other thing I just want to talk about is what we're doing now. And that is chatting, talking. I will tell you something. When I did my video yesterday, I blissfully did it after a few friends got a hold of me. And they know who they are. And they called me, and I said this on my video, with just no selfishness, not really caring what they felt, more like, hey, how are you? Are you okay? And it was just wonderful to hear that, to hear the care in their voice, to reflect on the relationships that we've created. This is therapeutic. Toasting ourselves. We're doing this as a group. We've got, what do we have? 243 people on right now, right? More will see this after it goes up. My point is this: let's keep the conversations going. A lot of people I heard said, that's it, I'm going dark, no more, that's it. Well, that's definitely your choice, but I did forget the thin slice of lemon peel. Good choice. That's your choice. But I think it's incredibly therapeutic to do this. It's one of the reasons why I am going to London. I'll be there from the 28th to the 31st. And that is because I need a vacation. Yes, I need a vacation. Human, like you, like everybody else. And this was my chance to connect with everybody and relax. And this is what I enjoy doing. So I can't wait. Daniel Gaster, I love that hashtag. Oh, I missed the hashtag. So let's open it up right now. I spoke didactically, yay me, not so much, for the last 30 minutes. So let's leave it now up to you and let's talk about what you want to know. So here we go. No friends like Bond friends. We'll get through this. Yes, we will. Yeah, there's the chutzpah. Not going dark. We need to keep it alive. If not us, then who? Bryant, well said. That's a freaking t-shirt. Got to tell, there is soon coming out some new related artwork on my Facebook page. Says nobody does it better. Cool. Yeah, I mean, okay. So fan artwork. That doesn't need to stop. Now we've got time to do even more speculation. Mark O'Connell uses the phrase keep on and carry on, which for me sums up the need to remain positive and keep up the momentum. Absolutely. Got time to break my RGT jacket in now. These are actually very funny. And yeah, that RGT jacket, once it starts to break in, it gets good. Hoping this time doesn't allow them to George Lucas the movie and keep editing away, says Shane. That's actually really scary, but really good. You know, it's that whole thing called, it's a phrase called buying it back. It's when you have something so good and you're like, all right, let me just keep tweaking it and talking about it and talking, and then you buy it back. So if they have a good movie, if they're proud of it, leave it alone. I think Joe and a couple people mentioned this. One of my greatest fears is that with 8 months, there's a lot of time for things to leak out. And I don't want to see more. They keep showing us sort of the same scenes or the same settings, so we're not seeing too much. But I don't want to see too much more. And I certainly don't want something in 3 months to leak out where it's like, here's the script. Here's the ending, or Safin is actually Madeline in disguise. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, you didn't hear? That's a spoiler. Maybe there'll be more merchandise at the end of the year. That's interesting. I mean, does this allow for more licensing agreements? Could we get more toys? I mean, not just the Funko Pops, which, by the way, yeah, guilty. Greetings from Belgium. Had tickets. Hope the marketing gets up again. Yeah, I mean, everybody that bought tickets, I will tell you this. I had a succession of things, oh my gosh, that would have lasted close to 2 weeks of different events and things going to, things with friends, things with, my wife, Danielle, who unfortunately Danielle will not be going to London, but, this was our vacation. This was our plan. And we were going to have big moments and quiet moments and big moments and quiet moments. So that's okay. I mean, we're putting that aside and we're going to take the next best thing. Now we have time to make the movie longer. From Finland with Love. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I'm already going to have a colostomy bag tied up or some sort of stent to get through that. But who knows? You never know what's going to happen. Damn, Funkos, I have 5 of the darn things. Yeah, I know. They you know what it is? They sprout. They're just they're kind of everywhere. It's like a fungus. My son works at a movie theater. I think that means another round. Oh, I just missed it. These things are disappearing quick. I'm thinking about going on a rogue Bond mission to destroy coronavirus. Yes. Well, I mean, all right. So I think we all understand, and I don't want to assume anything like that. So, and by the way, I said this to a friend today. We started talking about coronavirus, and I realized that coronavirus has become like talking about religion and politics. You probably shouldn't do it. There are so many, no, and I read this and I read that, and no, listen to this scientist. And there's panic, and maybe there's appropriate panic, and I don't know who's right. I'm not a scientist. Lost my medical license years ago. I never had one. But I will tell you this, it's a tricky conversation because I think the decision that the Bond producers made is not just based on coronavirus and health and safety. I think it's obviously a monetary one. I mean, the Asian markets not bouncing back in time for the movie would have definitely taken a blow financially. And we feel very bullish, especially with some of the vaccines that are being worked on and fast-tracked through the FDA, by the way. The CDC and the FDA are fast-tracking 2 vaccines that are being worked on right now that even take into mind, see, now I'm getting technical here, take into mind the fact that these could mutate. So, yay, everyone. Only time will tell if it was the right decision, says Anthony. Yes, yeah, you're right. Only time will tell. In times like this, you just have to pass the pod. Pass the pod. Chris Taylor, I'm so embarrassed. I don't know what the heck that means. Pass the pod. But I'm going to drink to it. Is that all right? Do you think the film was actually ready to release? I actually do. I think, or near to it. I mean, maybe they were doing some things with sound or the soundtrack. Absolutely. They, what is that term when they deliver the movie wet? When they edit right up until it. But I think that some insiders had seen some of it, or they were happy with it, or at least that's what it was in interviews. Only time will tell is the title of Bond 26. That's funny. See, all right, you're all keeping your sense of humor, and I think you need that. You saw me do that mask video the other day, and that was really about two things. It was about actual, like, medical important stuff. Like that thing I told you about the masks was actually important. Like the fact that those paper masks, they really won't do much. And seriously, it's a thing because when people wear those paper masks, they tend to adjust them and touch their faces. You would have to have not only a really good mask. By the way, delivered by Q Branch himself, okay? All I need is a Phillips key finder right there and kablooey. Not only do you need a really good mask, you need to know how to have the proper way to put it on. Professionals know how to put these on to create a vacuum seal. If you break that seal, you might as well just march out of the room. So that's all I'm saying, all right? That's a great look going to Walmart. That is my Walmart outfit. What? I mean, it's going to be part of the new branded merchandise that they're talking about releasing in November. Maybe we should get some new posters, retro ones like the old days. Yes, I actually like the last one that came out that Greg Williams had taken the photographic components for that showed Craig kind of cascading with the other characters. That's what I like about a Bond poster. I don't want any more like real Craig posters. I like the one with the sweater and the commando because he looks badass and he looks angry, but come on. Tim Hands does a wolf whistle. Hey, not in front of the mask. What are you, crazy? Have Bond 25 fitness goals changed now? Have mine changed? Yes. So if I'm just totally transparent with you, I was doing something to lead up to the premiere and being in London and spending all that time. I was kind of leaning down a little bit, and I was, as my wife puts it, eating all the chicken, like tons of chicken, like double chicken and triple chicken and protein, and lots of vegetables, and trying to stay away from sugary things here and there. Last night, though, when I heard the news, I had dessert. Oh yeah, I had dessert. So yeah, but I going to London, so yeah. Daniel House, 7 months, lose some more flab and get fitter. Yes, yeah. So I mean, I think actually the hashtag Bond25 Fitness Challenge will gain in strength. I think we're planning on doing a couple things actually when we're in London that are going to create some interesting videos that have to do with that, with a very special guest star. So check that out. Probably not who you're thinking of, but we'll see. We'll see what that really kind of comes down to. Do you think they'll add or change or continuing editing with the pushback, says Charles? I don't, no. I don't think they're going to continue to edit, but you never know. There could be one thing. Who knows? Maybe they're sitting in a room going, now's our opportunity to fix that one scene where, Daniel sneezes the wrong way. Daniel! Craig, not Craig. Craig. Just got to keep smiling. Absolutely, Philip. That is the type of thing. Is BAFTA still on? Asks Joseph Darlington. Good question. I have not received confirmation about the BAFTA event. Let me explain what the BAFTA event is first for those of you that don't know. After Operation Barracuda, which ends at 6, at 7:30 at the Odeon Leicester Square Theater, they're having a BAFTA event with Daniel Craig. And Daniel Craig is going to be speaking live about his movies. I'm wondering if it's similar to what they just did at the Museum of Modern Art, where they talk about his movies, show a little bit of being James Bond. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I know I have tickets, and I know that it hasn't been canceled. And I know I reached out to them to see. I've got friends of mine that are sitting with us. JBR Group is going there. You've got a bunch of people that are leaving Operation Barracuda and grabbing a bite to eat, and then going over to the BAFTA event at 7:30. I think it's like 90 minutes. And then after that, it'll be 9 o'clock, and then the party recommences wherever, who knows. We'll have to figure out an after party, after the party, after the BAFTA. So we have to listen. Joseph, I contact BAFTA and they say they're waiting on confirmation to see if it's going to happen. BAFTA spoke from him from no confirmation if it's postponed. Oh my God, I never considered that Alex Filson could be doing a virus. Yeah, so yeah, that's the other thing too. I'm sure it's not lost on anyone that if No Time to Die focuses on viruses, that this will be one crazy trip of, art imitating reality and reality imitating art. But we'll see how that comes. Just in case people want to stay on, I just missed you. Hold on, I think I can get you back. Just in case people want to stay on in the casino after 6, they can. Oh, sorry, I should say that. By the way, that was Peter Brooker. How's it going, Pete? How's Roger Moore doing? Pete Brooker has a dog, by the way, which doesn't even look like a dog. It looks like a Muppet. It looks like a Muppet. It looks like a Muppet. Name Roger Moore. I think that's the coolest thing. Why don't we all name our pets Roger Moore and our children? But you can stay on. So if you are coming to Operation Barracuda, they've got like really good food there and everything like that. I'll probably be grabbing a bite to eat there. So it's not like at 6 o'clock, they're booting everybody out. You can stay as long as you want. We just wanted to put kind of a beginning and end just so it doesn't seem like we're going into infinity. But they've got food, they've got drink there. It's warm. If it's raining, they've got protection. I don't even know where I'm going with this, but you know what I'm talking about. And Peter is, don't text me, Peter. Peter Brooker just sent me a picture of his dog. He's got some amazing videos too as well. Name your dog Roger Moore, hashtag name your dog Roger Moore is now trending on Instagram. Who knew that would happen? So the BAFTA event, so you see Saturday's got all these incredible things. I know many people are going to the Bond Stars event at Pinewood, which looks amazing. And for those of you that can't go, you'll hear stories about it afterwards. Monday is kind of a question mark, but there's Bond in motion, there's things to do. We will find a way. I just became aware of the delay. Oh my gosh, you just signed on and became aware of the delay? I'm so sorry. I didn't want to be the one to break it to you. Oh, I feel like a heel. No, I wanted to take you to Disney World. I wanted to buy you some cotton candy and an ice cream and take you on the ride and look you in the eye and say, listen, some things just don't work out. And I'm sorry to say this, but No Time to Die has been delayed and postponed. And then you'd cry and you eat your cotton candy, and then I would take you on the Dumbo ride. It's all good. Alan Hilburn, I just gave a spoiler. Did I? I didn't think I did. I'm sorry. You just ruined someone's day. Why don't you tell them there's no Santa next? No, Jerome, you just ruined their day because that guy didn't know about Santa yet. Why don't you just continue on and talk about the Easter Bunny? Guys, this is going south. I didn't think that this would go bad. The wife is buying you one, right? Are you going to do a review of the new Bond watch? Well, I don't know. Honestly, I don't. I've made inquiries. Trying to use the Queen's English. I don't know. I would love the watch. I'm really a fan of the watch, but I haven't even seen it in person. And it's almost like buying a car that you haven't seen over the internet. It's like, it's like, it looks good, but you come in and it goes like, and it doesn't start. So to be continued, but hopefully we'll get a chance to hold it and love it. Joe, you a bad man, says Gareth. What did Joe do now? Hey, David, Frank from Jersey checking in. I'm glad you checked in, Frank. I was wondering when you're going to check in. I'm like watching all the names scroll by. You've got 350 people on, and I'm like, where's Frank from New Jersey? Frank from New Jersey. No, Frank, good to hear you. So Frank was at our Operation Gatherall, right? So there's been all these different operations. And by the way, I dig the fact that we're calling them Operation something. They're kind of like, the Bond missions, Operation Gatherall and Operation Snowfall and, Operation Barracuda and Operation, Stop Talking and Operation Carry On. There's so many cool things that we can call these. And by the way, that's the cool thing about these events. I think people are under the horrible mistake that you need a brand event, or you need money, or you can have an event of 5 people in your house watching a movie. This is about just getting together, sharing some space with each other. Hello from Kyrgyzstan. Oh, did I just butcher that? Kyrgyzstan. It's a cool name, and I'm a big fan of Flat Stan, or Flat Stanley as I call him. So welcome to the show. Would people watch it if it got leaked? Ah, great question. Somebody asked me the other day, if you got the script, would you read it? And I'm going to be honest and say no, because I read the Spectre one and it kind of ruined it for me because the script was a little bit better than the movie. Just saying. And I wouldn't watch the movie because of obvious reasons, like a pirated copy is going to look like shit. And, oh, I don't know, it's theft. I don't want to get on a high horse, but that's just stupid. Don't do that. Spectre doesn't count on any scale. Come on, guys, it's still a Bond movie, and it's still Daniel Craig, and there's aspects of Spectre that you can appreciate, right? And is Spectre going to become better for us after this movie? That is a really good question. There's a Daniel Craig James Bond documentary in the cards. Wonder if it will be released before the movie. That's a good question, and let me speculate on that. So if there are a lot of scenes from the movie in that, and it's supposed to kind of tease it out, I don't think it would be released before the movie. But that might be something that they edit to give as a gift to create a bridge for us Bond fans. I mean, I would love to see that documentary. I heard that some people saw a sneak peek at the Museum of Modern Art. Maybe if Daniel Craig does show up to BAFTA, to the Odeon, we will get a sneak peek at that. That would be amazing. We've been waiting 5 years. 8 months will fly by. I like your optimism. I don't know if I'm there yet. 8 months. No, I'm getting there. You see my smile? It's almost not even painted on. No, we will because of this, right? I mean, this is what this 1 hour is all about, to kind of like, get everybody mobilized. Spectre is still better than Never Say Never Again. Hallelujah. Raise the house. That is absolutely true. When is the DC documentary coming out? Don't know. I don't think anybody knows, unless it was announced at Museum of Modern Art, and then just say it. Kyle Martini's and Spectre in the near future, from Charles. Is that Boomer? Spectre is better than Die Another Day. Yeah, it's so funny. If you rank Spectre on a scale of obviously 1 to 24, since we haven't seen 25 yet, raw wound, I don't think I would put it that far down. I mean, it's not in that territory. What about a challenge a month? Being James Bond could set the task to get us to November. I love that idea. What if we created a monthly challenge? It could be physical, it could be a fitness challenge, it could be a skill set challenge, it could be a knowledge challenge. You've got so many subject matter experts out there that could set up those challenges. Somebody take that on. Okay, I don't want it on my plate, but somebody should take that on, and I'll do one of the challenges. I'll raise my hand right now. I'll throw out a challenge out there. I'll think of something, but I do like that location challenge. Somebody said, I like that. I think this calls for the big martini glass. Is this not big enough? I mean, it's not small. And I'm getting through it pretty quickly without wincing. Casino Royale 67 for the win. What? You're insane. Fan art challenge. I do like that. I think there's a couple going on that are official, but what about an unofficial one? I could probably donate some prizes. I like this idea. Do you know what we're doing right now? We are Bond community ideating. We are crowdsourcing. We are doing, this is amazing. It's a brainstorm session. Really like it. Can we make a chat video about the new Bond fan art for No Time to Die? I'm probably not the right person to do that. I need to stick with what I'm good at. I like to do the product reviews, the marketing stuff, because that's truly what I'm passionate about and I enjoy. I like doing the location stuff, love the Bond community interviews and things like that, and events. But yeah, the fan art, there's got to be like a subject matter artist out there. There's got to be. Let's get the right tool for the right job. Lee Hurst, love your reviews. Thank you. Thank you. My reviews are only as good as the partners I do them with. So I've got some incredible people that I work with, Joe Darlington, Peter Brooker, Matt Spazer, Harris Thomas. I've got an upcoming one too that I think you guys are gonna like, and it's really perfect for discussion today because this is a cocktail hour. We have coming up the Beers of Bond. I didn't stutter. I said the Beers of Bond. And Kyle is helping me do that. Kyle from Easy Smiles and Expensive Watches, that Instagram. He basically, well, he works in the beer industry, and he went and curated all the Bond beer brands, all the Bond beer brands, all the Bond beer brands, all the Bond beer brands. That is not, and I'm doing that after half a martini, folks. And we literally go through environment by environment about the Bond beers, and we teach you about them. And we even go into the literary Bond. You guys are gonna love it. There's a part 1 and part 2 coming up. And by the way, we do have part 3 of Calvin Dyson's and my review of games, video games. You don't wanna miss that. David, what if No Time to Die sucks? It's Craig's last. There is a potential for it to suck, of course. We may go, this is what we waited for, this is what we got crazy. You roll with it. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be overly happy and glad. I mean, it will be, of course, that'll stink. I think for some people, because movies are so subjective, I've run into people that love A View to a Kill. I know people that love Die Another Day, and they love, Tomorrow Never Dies. That's me. I love Tomorrow Never Dies. It's in my top 5. So it's so subjective. To somebody, it's not going to suck. I'm hard pressed to think this is going to suck. I mean, it looks so good, and it seems connected, and they spent the requisite time on it. So I don't think they're going to get to the suck stage. David, we'd love to see your official least favorite to favorite. Oh, I can do that. Not right now, but I mean, I can do that. T&D is one of my faves too. Michelle Yeoh, yes, please. Yes, she isn't. She's so capable too. I mean, she kicks ass. So it's she's got all that in a bag of potato chips. I don't know why I'm coming out with these phrases. Hold on. I know why. What's your guess for Bond 26, actor and timeline? All right, good, thank you. My guess for actor is, I'm going to say Henry Cavill. And I'm going to say 3 years after No Time to Die. 3 years? I don't know. Depends. Really depends. But there you go. 3 years. Didn't realize this was a cocktail hour. Armed myself with an old-fashioned. Yes! I love old-fashions. Oh my gosh. Manhattan's old-fashioned. Yes. We'll have to pick some interesting drinks. So at Operation Barracuda, the bartenders will be serving James Bond style drinks. That'll be cool. That'll be fun. We got a couple surprises there too for everybody that attends. And again, I should go over some of the details of Operation Barracuda. First of all, nonprofit, meaning Peter and I, trust me, we're spending much more time and money than anybody's comfortable with. But you pay 15 quid to get in. With that 15 quid, that gets you your first drink. So you're kind of not paying 15 quid to get in. It's not really a cover charge. It's for your first drink. We're going to have anybody that attends do a little, I guess with casinos, you've got to sign up. So rather than sign there and create this long queue, we're going to get something for you to whoever's attending, just to kind of put down just your basic information, and that's it. And then you're in, and having fun. And again, I'll put the link on here for the Facebook event, so you can love to hear if you're going, so we can get some head counts. I would prefer Joe Darlington to star as 007 and Bond 26, says Firm Flash. I feel like Firm Flash is Joe's mother coming on this podcast. Maybe? I don't know. Hey, if this movie's done in the can, there's no reason why they can't. Hold on, I just lost you. Can't give us one sooner than later. Actually, that's been bantied about, not officially. There was a couple of fans who said, well, what if the virus goes away? What if, in China next week, they start letting people back in movie theaters and this all goes to task 3 weeks from now? Can they release it early? I don't know, because the problem is they've got to look for windows. When they schedule movies out, they've got to look for your window of when you can release your movie. It's a science. It's not an art. I mean, there's a lot of discussions around this. I'm sure that this whole discussion had to figure out what's opening up against them. What are the open slots? Is it a holiday season? Can we capitalize on it being a holiday season? It's Thanksgiving. People will be around. They tend to go to the movie theaters. We're up against a Disney film. That's not too bad. People want adult entertainment as well. So many questions need to be answered. So I don't know if they can just be like, okay, it's back 3 weeks from now, go for it. It just, unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. Wish it did. You surely must be winking kidding me with that comment. That's good. Everybody's funny. When did everybody get funny? When is Barracuda? Operation Barracuda is March 28th, which is a Saturday, March 28th, from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. London time at the Barracuda Club. And we'll give all the details. And actually, you know something? I will give you right now. The Barracuda Club is at 1 Baker Street, Marylebone. Oh boy. Marylebone, London. All right. The window you're discussing is the official Stay Away from Top Gun 2 window. Oh, wow. I didn't even realize that. Oh my gosh, am I going to look blue? Am I looking blue? Hold on a second. I want to make sure that I don't look blue in this. I just realized the computer screen is bouncing up and hitting me. So the last thing I want to do is look blue. Hold on a second. Let me just change that. Anyway, we need to actually start wrapping this up. First of all, thank you. You've got choices. You could have gone for dinner. You could have done a lot of different things, but you decided to, really come on here and listen to me do a little bit of a discussion. But I do want to thank you. See, look, no computer screen. I'm like human again. But I did want to thank you for that. Thank you for coming on. Gareth, thank you. Joe, thank you. Shane, thank you. Alan, thank you. Your lighting did change to a blue tint. I know I did that. I don't know. I was like Blue Man Group, like I couldn't breathe or something. Jeff Phillip, thank you. Fred, thanks. Fred, especially you. Lee Hurst, what can I say? James, you the man. Wolfgang! All right, Wolfgang, you got to tell me if you're still coming, man. I'm coming. I'm coming to London, man. I know you changed your flight. You got to tell me. Suzanne, keep kicking ass with hashtag Bond25 Fitness Challenge. Yorit, how you doing, brother? Be good. Get some sleep. You guys are up way too late. Pete, you the man. No, Pete, you the man. Pete Brooker, I tell you, Pete and I we are so much alike. I mean, he has a totally different hairline, totally different body type. I'm taller than him. My eye color is totally different. We dress differently. He likes View to a Kill, and I like Casino Royale. But other than that, we are so much alike. And he's my brother. Anyway, guys, we're going to see you real soon. For those of you that are going to be in London, let's just bootstrap this thing. Let's have a great time. Nothing's going to keep us down. I'm not going to start singing. Nothing's going to keep us down, though. We're going to keep calm. We're going to carry on. We're going to have fun. The videos are going to keep coming. The content's going to keep coming. We're going to survive this. And you know something? I'm not even going to say I'll see you in 8 months, because I'll see you like tomorrow. Some of you. Anyway, this has been David Zaritsky for the Bond Experience. We'll see you all real soon. Take care. La-dee-dee-dee.